back earlier, we asked you to call and tell us about the superstitions that you just can't shake.
Yeah, it turns out that we've got a superstitious old lot watching us. We've had loads of calls waiting to talk to the Speakmans. Nik and Eva are here. You're going to try and help make sense of some of these calls for our viewers, haven't you? Let's start then. We've got Mandy. Morning, Mandy.
Morning.
Thank you for calling in, Mandy. Tell us about your superstition and what you need help with.
It's a bit of a weird one. It's my nanny said to me never put new shoes on a table because it would bring you bad luck. As a result of that, I just don't like shoes in the house, so they have to be hidden away.
So in the house, full stop?
OK.
Mandy, is it in the house full stop? Like, you literally
No, they just need to be hidden. They need to be in a wardrobe, in a cupboard, wherever. If I have any guests, shoes are outside, you come inside. So, yeah, it's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, and do you know what, Mandy? This is, like, so incredibly common. Yes. And what's also really interesting is that all these superstitions evolve, but when we actually understand the origin, then we can start to make sense of them and feel better about them. So let me tell you where this one originates from. And I've got to be honest, I had this as well until I understood it. And it actually comes from the coal mining industry. So when a coal miner died, what they would do is they would put a pair of shoes on a table as a mark of respect. So actually, it was a respectful thing to do and not something to fear. So I hope that now understanding that might help you feel a little bit better.
So people wouldn't... So if you put a pair of shoes on the table and someone hadn't died, that would have been seen as being disrespectful, because people might assume, oh, who's died? Oh, no.
No,
So then it becomes a much stricter bit of guidance.
Exactly, but that's just where it came from, was just... It was a mark of respect for people, just to sort of, for the miners.
OK. Are you a shoes on or shoes off housewife?
Oh, shoes on. I have no issues with shoes.
Oh,
even with teenage boys.
I once read a Time article about the germs that are on the bottom of your shoes.
Oh, OK, and your next...
That's an entirely different story.
I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it. Mandy, hope that helps.
It did. Thank you very much. I will take that away. Let's hope that my family really appreciate the fact that I'll let them come in with their shoes on. Never.
That's good news. That's great news.
Don't read the Time article.
No. If it demystifies the idea of how it started, then you can probably just let it go, let it wash over you.
Of course.
Absolutely.
OK, next up we've got Angela. Hello, Angela. You're from my neck of the woods, I think. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Birmingham.
I thought so. Now, tell me, you fear the number 13. Why?
Yes. I don't quite understand why I don't like it. I think it's just from word of mouth. It's been from when I was a child. And I therefore substitute, if and when I can, the number 13, I don't even like saying it, for the letter M, because it's M for mother, because it's the 13th letter in the alphabet.
OK, it sounds like there's method in the madness.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that there is no basis of science behind any superstitions at all. And as you just said, this isn't your thing, it's something that you copied. So knowing that it isn't your thing, you should very easily be able to let it go. The number 13 is quite fearful for a lot of people. In fact, 80% of hotels in New York don't have a 13th floor, for example.
And some airlines actually don't have a 13th row either.
Oh, and some airports don't have a 13th terminal. But it all stems back to one of three theories. And the most common one is that Judas was the 13th guest at the Last Supper, and we all know what he went on to do. So it's just the fact that...
He's ruined it for all.
He did ruin it for all of us,
yes. He did.
So if you consider that it dates so far back, it's got no... there's no evidence that 13 is an issue. And actually, because Friday the 13th is the day that we fear the most, but statistically, Monday the 27th, insurance companies say, is the worst day because most claims happen on Monday the 27th.
Oh, I wonder why.
Because Sunday the 26th is a big day.
Well, the theory behind that, yeah, probably. But people, obviously, just on a weekend, people are tired from the weekend. Coming to the end of the month, people lapse concentration and therefore car accidents and so on happen.
Yeah, okay.
Angela, do you know when you started with this fear of number 13, how old you were?
I can't exactly pinpoint what age I was, but I know I was a child.
Yeah.
And although I say I substitute the number for the letter M for mother, I do only do that in my own head or in my own paperwork. Well, I do write the number down how it's meant to be, but in my head, I don't portray it to anybody else. When I'm talking to somebody, if I'm doing maths and giving them a maths question, I don't go, if the answer is that number, I don't start going, oh, yeah, it's M, you know, because I'm going to sound absolutely mad. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just a strange thing. I don't know where it originates from for myself because my parents wasn't like it. My siblings, as far as I know, aren't the same. And I also have, I also know somebody who looks forward to Friday the 13th because they have such good luck on those days and have done all their life. So they have really good things happen to them on Friday the 13th. So I hope that can change people's opinion as well.
Yes,
well,
exactly.
actually, that's something I was going to suggest for you. You said that this is a learning from a child, and essentially I want to consider that you are actually still taking your advice from you as a child. So what about turning it on its head and thinking, OK, I've been frightened of the 13th for all my life, so now I'm going to look forward to it because I know that my luck's going to change. How about trying that one on?
Very good.
Yeah, I do try to. I mean, usually when it comes to Friday the 13th, I try not to go out. Although if something's going to happen on that day, it's going to happen, whether it's Friday the 13th or not. You know, it doesn't have to be the date, does it? I am a realistic person, so I do understand that fact. I don't know why it comes instilled in me about that 13th number. I really don't know.
You need to reframe it, Angela. Reframe it. Take control of it.
Create a new habit.
They're good talkers, these brummies, aren't they?
They do. They like this chat. Thanks,
thank
Angela.
you. Right, let's go to Helen now. Helen, you're in Lancashire. Interestingly, I think your two superstitions have both been discussed by us and the team
Vanessa
this morning.
did this morning. She mentioned magpies.
Yeah, explain to Nik and Eva.
So yeah, I've got lots of superstitions, but the two main ones that I have is magpies. So if I'm out walking the dogs or I'm just out and about, especially when I'm with my mum, if we see a load of magpies, I have to say the poem and then she salutes them. So if I see two, I know I feel comforted. I'm going to have a really good day. If I see one, I dread the rest of the day, thinking bad things are going to happen. Yeah. And then my second one is, at home, we are not allowed to cross the stairs at all. It's a big no-no.
We've got some great information on both of those things, and I do sympathise with the magpie thing because that was me until a few years ago when I actually discovered the origin. And the good news is that the origin of the magpie comes back to a nursery rhyme that dates back to the 1700s. And what that actually alluded to, the one for sorrow. So I don't know if you know, but magpies, they only live for about 4 or 5 years, and they mate for life, apparently. So, and if their partner dies, then that is it, they stay on their own. So actually, the one for sorrow isn't for us. The one for sorrow relates to the magpie, so that we can actually feel sorry for the magpie.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And since then, actually, seeing a magpie now, I actually do feel sorry for it. So I hope that one helps with that. Yeah. And then the crossing on the stairs, that comes back to medieval times when staircases were really narrow and knights would carry swords. And so it was literally just a health and safety.
Dangerous.
Makes sense.
Pretty much it.
It makes sense. Total sense. Thank you.
Hopefully that'll help.
Yeah, this is funny. This one is from Hayley here.
Yeah.
We've had a viewer write in, and she says, I was born on Friday 13th at 1300 hours. When I was at school, my friend's mum made me leave her house. What? When she found this out, she thought I was a child of the devil. I think Friday the 13th should be celebrated.
There you go, it will be. It's a birthday.
It's the way you frame it. You were right.
Nick, we haven't got much time, so give us your tips.
Oh, yeah, so if you're struggling with a superstition, some things to consider. Write your superstitions down, research the origins, because there's always something behind every superstition. Consider the evidence that you have then. Don't be inconvenienced by them anymore. And also learn to laugh about the stories that created the superstitions and the things that you've done in the past, and that will allow you to let these things go.
Lovely.
Brilliant.
Nik Eva, thank you so much for that. Thank you for all those calls as well.
Yeah.